we used to call my brother. He used to say that he was a metrosexual.
Yeah.
We didn't pick at it and make fun of it, but people used to say that I was a metrosexual, and I wasn't getting the manicures and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, not that I have a problem with it. Like later in my life, I would go get my eyebrows.
So my thing that you said that though. So why does it have to? It's not necessarily even defined by a manicure or a pedicure. I just use those as examples. Remember, I said self-care.
The crazy thing about it is that that's what they were doing though.
Okay.
And I'm just assuming that that's what they were doing and that's why they were considered that. But like for me, I did construction.
Okay.
I was an electrician.
Yes.
I worked with now, I don't know why I don't have calluses.
Okay.
But that's what I did.
Yeah.
I would wear my gloves. They would make fun of me because I wore gloves.
Okay.
I was like, don't a woman want to feel my rough hands? And then I said, then on top of that.
Straight up.
And on top of that, I'm like, yo, we're messing with shovels all day, digging. Then we're using it. Sometimes we got to use the picks to pick through the clay. I'm talking about we busting up clay, concrete. And I said, I'm not afraid of the labor. I was like, but I'm not going to mess my hands up.
Right.
I'm going to get 40, 50. I don't want you looking like this. What's going on? I'm new to the job and your hands like this. Like, I don't want that.
So you got that. That's my point about self-care, that as we do age and you get to that place, have you ever, and I know you see, I'm gonna give you a simple example where you can confirm for me that you know about self-care. Have you ever seen any of your homies straight from high school or whatever on Facebook and you look at them and be like, bro, what happened? Like the streets tore you up, brother. Like, so for me, that is an example of self-care, right? Because in some essences, the streets did tear them up. Maybe their path took them to, drugs or incarceration or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. That does affect your look. You know what I'm saying? So drugs or smoking or whatever it is that affects your look, right? But that's where I'm going with the whole self-care thing. The fact that you were conscious in those moments of that I still have to live my life with these two hands going forward, that didn't take away anything from your masculinity. No. It had nothing to do with proving that you were a provider or that you are a male and all of those things with your machismo. It just said, bro, I don't want my hands to be torn down because I gotta use these for the rest of my life. So that's what I'm saying. Our predecessors in the past maybe didn't have those luxuries or those thoughts because, again, masculinity is assigned to getting in the earth, digging in the earth, and providing and doing all of those things. Where, look at caveman times and what men look like. And then how we've evolved, correct? Right. So back then, there was no clothing, so therefore body hair and all of those things served as its purpose. Right? But then you get to a place of evolution where then those things, you don't need it. So then we started to lessen those things, okay? And then you start talking about corporate America and positions of what was deemed as professional. Okay? So then that was less of that as well. Where now, I'm saying as we fast forward and we're in inclusion, you could say you want to be a unicorn today and I'm going to call you a unicorn because if I don't, there could be some repercussions from that. You know what I mean? Which I think is a beautiful thing. Whether I subscribe to being a unicorn or whether I really believe you're a unicorn are two different things. But I tell you what, if you tell me, call you a unicorn, bro, I'm going to call you a unicorn, okay? Because it's a certain level of respect, okay? So I said all that to say that the term metrosexual to me means nothing. Now we are in a place of what is called self-care. When we know better, we do better, right? So evolution, escalation, elevation, all of those things deem that we know better, we are exposed to more, we can try more things, have more things. So what is wrong with now the dude that used to go to the barber and he got a cut and a tape, and that was it. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with the fact that now you're growing this hair on your face? It needs to be maintained.
Yeah.
It needs to be detangled. It needs to be moisturized. It needs to look a certain way.
Yeah.
So what is wrong with that brother that spends? You talked about your eyebrows, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is wrong with a brother being aware that, listen, these frame my face and I got these crazy wild hairs that do all of these different things, right? You spoke about your hands and calluses and being attractive and touching your wife or a woman. Mm-hmm. She's not gonna hold my hand in the movie theater while we Netflixing and chilling and I got bumpity bump bump bump, you know? Same with these eyebrows, bro. Like, so there's nothing wrong. The same effort that ladies have been putting on for centuries, right? Yes. For us to be attracted and to be able to pay attention, because I tell my clients this on a day-to-day basis, and so this is where I may get in trouble, okay? But I'm a realist and I'm gonna keep it real at all times, okay? I ain't never seen no brother say to no lady, your eyelashes turn me on. Your eyelashes are so beautiful. Gosh, so all of my sisters that are going out here and they're spending these hundreds of dollars on these eyelashes, and some of them, they look like Batman, and you know, they get the, you know, and I can't, the tarantula, you know what I mean? But you ain't doing that for me, sis. Mm-hmm. You weren't doing that for me, okay? Mm-hmm. You're doing that for you and the other ladies. Yep. Because ain't no man say, did you see her? She had the baddest set of eyelashes I saw, and I think that lady's gonna be my wife, bro. That's not...
Never, and I'm 35, and my entire 35 years is living.
Okay.
Talking to the fellas, talking to my brothers. None of them have ever mentioned a woman's eyelashes.
Okay.
And the only respect that the eyelashes were brought up was like, bro, them eyelashes was crazy.
Right. That's crazy. When it becomes a negative versus, but they think...
It's never a positive.
I know some females in my own life that will say, oh, I can't go, but eyelashes aren't done. Or like my girlfriends, they'll be like, oh, I can't. And I'm like,
none of men care about them.
That brother ain't looked at your eyelashes. Let me tell you. He's looking at some other things. Yeah. We're going to keep it clean. But your eyelashes ain't got nothing to do with it. So my point was, women have been doing self-care, right? They make sure their skin is good. They get their hair done, you know, all of these different things in hopes to appeal to whomever they're serving.
Right.
Okay? But in all actuality, men should do the same. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'll never forget being a child and one of the smoothest brothers. It's my favorite movie of all time, okay? It is Lady Sings the Blues, right? With Diana Ross and Billy D. Williams. Mm-hmm. I remember being a child and I had never seen a brother be that smooth and debonair. And he was suited and booted. He had the curly hair sticking out of the fedora, bro. And my whole point was, it was the effort and the attention to detail from him having on the suit with the flower. You get it? Flower. He had on his fedora, his skin was good, his mustache was manicured, and he walked into that club and represented a style of gentleman that was unparalleled to what I was seeing on the streets. And it was like, that's who I want to be. That's what I want to be. And it was a representation. How can he walk into a room and not be respected or not be revered or not somebody say, who is that kind of situation? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I love that brothers now are in that place. Whether it's in an urban setting, whether it's all natural or whatever, we pay attention now to what we are serving the people. You yourself, every time you leave your door, your home, whatever, you're a brand, bro. And so it is conscious to wear hair on your face. It is conscious for you to have locks. It is conscious for hoodies to be your thing. And any brother that says that it is not and that they don't care and that those things don't matter is lying to himself because you like what you like.
I think that for me in that regard, it speaks a lot to, it speaks to the mentality.
Okay.
Because like, and I don't think people, I think people mix it. Just because, like you were saying, just because you're conscious, it doesn't mean that you're trying to put on for someone.
Exactly.
Because you're conscious about your appearance and what you look like, what you smell like, how people experience you, it's not to say that, oh, well, I want them to think this of me, so let me do that. That's not the thought process behind it. The thought process behind it is, I like this, I care about this. How can I make this, like, how can I turn that fashionable? That's my thought. I love anime. I'm big into anime.
Okay.
I bought this anime
My daughter
hoodie.
loves anime.
Yeah?
Yes.
I bought this anime
thing.
hoodie it's a white anime hoodie.
Okay.
It's all white. And I'm like, okay, it's anime, so people are gonna think one thing about it. I said, but we're about to put this into fashion now. So I had to find a way to take my desire or my love for anime and make it into something that's presentable. And it wasn't anything crazy. It just had the shoes I had on with it and the pants I matched with it to make it something.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to put on for anybody. It was, this is what I like. Let me make this into fashion because I like it and I want to wear it and I'm gonna wear it.
Yes.
So, but now we have to make it look good. And I think the fact that men, even now, like, especially in the Black community, you see it, man. When I walk out and the guests I've had on my show, I'm at work, like the people I see, like the way that they're caring for themselves and putting on and making sure that it's nice. And I think growing up in the hood and being raised in the projects, it's like you see certain images and that's all you see. So you don't know, there's no other way that the blue collar worker, when he gets his pay, what he has to go pay, you don't always have the resources to put, because it takes a lot of money, it's expensive.
Absolutely.
It's expensive, so the more money you make, the more you do, and then like, okay, yeah, you start, okay, well, this is paid for, dang, what? I got some, let me try to go see what this is like. And then now you're experiencing these things and you realize it doesn't interfere with your masculinity. At all. And if people, and even with me, when I would go get my unibrow
you get waxed, you have a unibrow.
In.
Please wax it. Please wax it. Please and thank you.
And I would do it.
Please, if you have a unibrow, wax it tomorrow. If you don't know how, call me. I will give you a tutorial. FaceTime me. Please wax your unibrow.
When I would go get it, she would do it with the string, man.
Oh, you would get it threaded.
She would thread
it. Threading is even better.
And it lasts longer. And I would do it.
Yes.
And people would be like, did you get them? Did you get your? I'm like, no, it was just threaded. But I didn't care. You wasn't gonna interfere with my masculinity. I know why I did it, because I was growing hair in middle school.
Yes.
So I had to take care of my hair.
Yes, right. You just happen to be a hairy person. And it's all good. And then to piggyback on something that you just said a minute ago too, about like the blue collar worker and, you know, having the extra means, you know, that's the sacrificial portion of being a masculine provider is that when there are extra means, you definitely weren't using them for yourself.
No, we're not.
You were passing that on to the women in the family, your wife, your children, whatever, right? But we've also come to learn, well, I've come to learn that style has nothing to do with labels and prices and all of those things. And people like to judge me, okay, because I am a dude of a particular age and a dude that likes a particular things, okay? However, brother, I want you to know that I'm a high-low kind of brother. You know what I'm saying? So you and I were talking off camera. We were talking about you can go to a Ross, a Marshall's, a Target, a Walmart. Please don't believe that I'm above that. Y'all may see me suited and booted this evening. But bro, if I like it, I like it. I don't care where it came from.
Facts.
Goodwill, Amazon, Old Navy, Walmart. It has nothing to do, and I think that's growth. And so I can be transparent for myself, right? So clothing has always been my thing. Clothing happened to be my thing because it was my armor because of insecurity.